We are in relegation form here in Season 3 of our realistic Crystal Palace career mode, and Oli Glasner is holding on to his job by a thread. After such a positive start to the season, it looks like all of those good results were just false hope. For the third season in a row, we've won 4 games in the last 3 months. That's seen us free fall to 11th place in the Premier League and 8 points off even a top half finish, and it's seen us crash out of the Carabao Cup at the quarter-final stage. And all of this whilst qualifying for Europe was a necessary achievement if we were going to keep our job next season. Fortunately, we do still have one avenue into Europe left open, and that is via the FA Cup. So we'll be taking on Wolves in our featured game of today's episode in round 4 of the competition. I'll also show you highlights of our home fixture against Arsenal in the Premier League, and we will be quick simming the 2 fixtures in between against Sheffield United and against West Ham. Fortunately, it is also transfer deadline day, so we do have one final opportunity to add to the squad before the final stretch here in Season 3. Our AI sporting director, Dougie Freedman, has made a number of astute signings for us, none more so than Tammy Abraham, so we'll need him to do the same again as we look to bring in a defensive midfielder. I think the player I would most like Dougie to pursue is Alan Varela of Porto. He looks absolutely unreal and a perfect fit for us. However, he has been the subject of interest from a number of Premier League clubs. However, Porto are within touching distance of the league title over in Portugal, and they are pretty much guaranteed to be playing European football next season. Instead, we've put together a final shortlist of 5 defensive midfielders that we would be happy for Dougie Freedman to bring in. And ultimately, it's going to be up to him to decide. And his decision is Mandela Keita. Freedman says he's the top choice because he offers a strong balance between affordability, potential growth, and current ability. He does also see Samuel Enrique and Ndayishimiye as other strong options as well, though. And I'm more than happy with Dougie's decision. He's got 79 pace, 75 defending, 85 physical, and most importantly, he has the player roles that fit all of the systems we are looking to play. He has CDM centre half, so we can play that 4-3-3. He has holding, so we can play the 4-2-3-1. And he has the centre midfield deep lying playmaker. However, if we approach Mandela Keita, we are told this team will not sell this player, but we can negotiate if we pay his release clause, which is a massive 48.8 million. So I don't think we're not gonna be able to pay 48.8 million. Steve Parish has only given us a maximum of 20 million to work with here in January. We did sell Raksaki, so that adds 6 million to the budget, but that's still only 26 mil. We have, of course, been looking to offload Eddie Nketiah, and I would be happy to include him in a player swap deal, but we can't do that because we have to pay the release clause directly, and we're not going to get 20 million for Nketiah. So we're going to have to pivot to one of those other strong options, either Samuel Enrique or Ndayishimiye. Both are an 81 overall. Riki is 3 years younger. However, his player roles aren't exactly what we're looking for. Holding at CDM, box-to-box at centre midfield, whereas Ndayishimiye has the same player roles as Keita did. Centre half and deep lying playmaker are both CDM and centre midfield, plus he can play centre back. Defending is a 79, physical is an 84, pace is just a 71, but that's not that much less than Riki, who looks to be better going forward. Better passing, better dribbling. I think Ndayishimiye's our guy. So Udinese do agree to an offer of 23.5 million for their midfielder, who wants a crucial squad role, which we are pretty much going to have to give him. Ndayishimiye is 28 years old, 3 years older, as we said, than Samuel Enrique, and I think 4 years older than Keita. However, we don't have time to sit and watch players develop. Oli Glasner is hanging on to his job by a thread. We need to get some results here in the run-in in Season 3. So we do manage to get the deal over the line, and Yusuf Ndayishimiye joins. So Ndayishimiye will come straight into the starting lineup alongside Adam Wharton as one of 2 defensive midfielders in a 4-2-3-1 formation. And that is how we'll line up against Wolves. So without further ado, let's head over to Molineux and see if we can take one small, desperate step towards saving our season. Right, let's do this. FA Cup trophy incoming. I'm calling it now. Need to get through Wolves here today. After that, who knows? But that's the one way that we're going to make Europe and keep our job. It's a bold statement, I know. Especially when the way that we ended last episode has continued. Here at the beginning of this one, Leif Davis almost gives away a penalty almost immediately. Dean Henderson thankfully parries away the shot. We cannot be doing that in today's game if we are going to win. It's not a terrible Wolves team. It's not a particularly imposing one. But they do have Matheus Cunha. They do have Bernd Leno in goal, interestingly enough. And they do have a handful of players that can cause us some issues. We do thankfully have Ndiaye Shimi at defensive midfield alongside Adam Wharton today, as Leif Davis is absolutely cooked once again. That's a better challenge. Still can't get the ball away from the Wolves man. But Henderson makes the save. Into the feet of Munoz, and then eventually to Koleosho, who faces up his man and cuts inside, beats Lamina. Can we get anybody up in support at any point, please? It's going to be another frustrating one, or I can feel it already. Very interested to see how Ndiaye Shimi performs, though. And he's nicked one away there, kind of stepping up into a slightly more advanced position than I anticipated. Leif Davis eventually making the right run, and apparently is offside. Didn't look offside, I didn't think. But an inverted run, only just to be fair. But it will be a Wolves free kick. We've got the Palace third kit for the first time as well in the series. I had just assumed that we weren't going to get the updated kits in this particular save, and that you would have to start a new save in order to get them. Because all we've had up to this point has been the home kit and the yellow away kit. But all of a sudden today the black third kit has appeared, so we'll certainly take it. That we'd give it a run out here today. Constantelius cuts back, finds Wharton, and there's Pereira. Need a big performance from him today in Daichi Kamada's absence as well. Kamada injured for today's game. Adam Wharton, good run from Tammy Abraham, and Constantelius. Nobody in the box now, though, since it was Tammy Abraham that laid that off. That's really well found from Leif Davis to Daniel Munoz. Excellent play. Really good cross-field pass there to find Daniel Munoz in space. We do have Munoz and Davis both on wing-back, whereas maybe full-back would be better for this particular formation. Adam Wharton gets the shot away, and Ndiaye Shimi sniffing around for a rebound. Couldn't get it. Yeah, I think fullbacks technically would be a slightly better fit for this particular formation, but Davis and Munoz are just, they are really true wing-backs. So I thought best to give them that particular player role, especially since we do have Ndiaye Shimi and Adam Wharton both in kind of true holding positions. So we should have plenty of cover for Maxence Lacroix and Trevor Chalobah if Leif Davis and or Daniel Munoz do venture forward. Pereira. Koleosho. Cuts inside once more. Constantelius in space. It's a poor pass from Koleosho, though. This is the formation that we used against Tottenham all the way back at the end of Season 2. But we put in such a good performance in that game that I thought we needed to give it a run out once more, especially since the 3-4-2-1 really isn't working out too well. The 4-3-3 has been fine, and I am certainly looking to utilise that once more now that we do have Ndiaye Shimi, who is the perfect fit at centre-half. And we don't really have options kind of in and around the penalty area is the main thing that I'm noticing at this particular stage. Ndiaye Shimi. Koleosho. Oh, and it's cut out well by the Wolves defender. Although we have Tammy Abraham up front and Andreas Pereira in the number 10 role, we don't really seem to have anybody in a central position in and around the penalty area, which I'm a little confused by. Pereira a little bit anonymous in the kind of areas that we need him to be impactful in today's game. And 20 minutes already have passed really without incident. I'm not sure who that favours more, us or Wolves. It's another really good challenge from Ndayishimiye. And to be fair, he looks to be exactly the kind of player that we've been needing. Just strong. That's a poor pass from Leif Davis. And Chalobah couldn't quite get the block in, but thankfully Cunha's shot is easily saved by Dean Henderson. And he would have been offside anyway. Just. But yeah, Ndayishimiye's strong, mobile, excellent defensively, but decent enough with the ball at his feet. I think he's exactly what we've been crying out for this season in particular. Chalobah finds Wharton. Leif Davis. And it's another really good interception by Wolves, who are defending very, very well, to be fair to them. They're keeping their shape. And they have been organised so far defensively. Just holding their shape and anticipate that that's going to be enough to either force errors or for them to, you know, force us into areas where they can steal the ball away. And that's exactly what's happening. They're kind of funneling us out towards the touchline. And then they're just well positioned to make interceptions as we try and play the ball up the line. And he has absolutely baited me there. Absolutely baited me. Kind of made a run towards the player as if he was going to close him down and then immediately backed off as soon as it looked as though I was going to pass the ball. Great interception by Maxence Lacroix though. Oh, and we can't quite find Pereira. Just needed to hit Pereira on the half turn and get a ball in behind Wolves there. Leif Davis with the interception this time, and we do find Constantelius and a chance to break now. Pereira up ahead of him. Really could have done with a run inside there from Constantelius, but it is worked into the box, but it's behind Tammy Abraham and too far ahead of Andreas Pereira. Great tackle by Koleosho though. And let's just put it into the box where Tammy Abraham potentially can rise. Again, just a little behind him. Lacroix beaten in the air. Not often you can say that. Lamina kind of dictating the play for Wolves at the moment. Campbell. The pace to run away from Munoz, who has just as much pace to recover. Pereira. Big switch of play is on, but he can't get the pass away. Two very evenly matched teams in this game. It looks like we found our level here in Season 3. We've kind of struggled to find our level. We've been able to beat the likes of Manchester United by 3 goals, but we've been absolutely destroyed by Man City, by Chelsea. We've even had some really disappointing losses in there this season. It's been kind of awkward to kind of work out what our level is. It looks like Wolves is our level, because we are perfectly matched here in the first half. That was really poor from Trevor Chalobah, just completely uninventive, unimaginative play. And Ndayishimiye tracking back. Sarabia for Wolves, up to Matheus Cunha. And Lacroix picks his pocket almost immediately. Wolves, however, do the same. Wolves with a handful of shots in this first half. I don't think we've had a shot on goal. Reminiscent of a previous episode. Big save, Cunha. No, not like this. Big save from Henderson from Cunha. Excellent reflexes. And the header from what? I mean, it's 15 yards. Loops over the top of him. Henderson's been caught off his line a handful of times in this series, to be fair. It's been kind of his weakness. Poor positioning from the goalkeeper. And it's come back to bite us there. Koleosho once more. Munoz outside him. Tammy Abraham with a good little pocket of space. Couldn't find him though. With 5 minutes to go until half time. Is Wolves with a 1-0 lead, and it is a deserved 1-0 lead as well. They've had the better of the first half. They've created more opportunities than us. None really clear-cut up until that Matheus Cunha opportunity that Dean Henderson did so well to save. But we have not even had half chances like Wolves have. So you have to say it's a deserved 1-0 lead for Wolves. And it's another poor pass, this time by Constantelius. And again, we're just unable to string two passes together at the moment. And Dayashimi. Koleosho in behind. Dayashimi finds him. Koleosho can't bring it down. Just needed to loft it into the box to Tammy Abraham. Just put it in the air and just hope he comes down with it. Couldn't get the cross away though. Pereira finds Abraham, gets his first shot away. Saved by Bernd Leno. And I think we're going to have to change things up in the second half because this formation isn't working. I think we might try the 4-3-3 in the second period. But we need to get players in better attacking positions. We're comfortable enough in possession in our own half. But as soon as we get into the final third, there's just a lack of movement, a lack of creativity, a lack of imagination at the moment. Today's video is sponsored by Enigma Football, the UK's leading supplier of football shirt mystery boxes just like this one. Enigma stock a wide range of football shirts from clubs from the Big 5 European leagues, from lesser known teams around the world, and even from national teams as well. And you can be 100% certain that their shirts are authentic because they get them straight from the clubs and the manufacturers directly. Their mystery boxes start at just $34.99 and they can be as random or as customized as you like. Of course, you need to specify your shirt size, but you can also let Enigma know if there are any teams or leagues you would like to avoid, if there are any colors or designs that you would prefer, or you can just leave it entirely up to Enigma to choose for you. Enigma had a very good idea of what team I would like to receive, so they sent me this season's Crystal Palace shirt. This exact shirt on the Crystal Palace website would have cost me £60. But if you receive it in a mystery box, you get it almost half that price. And you can knock that price down even further by using code LAMSY at the checkout for a 10% discount on all first orders, including the first month of a mystery box subscription package. So if you're on the lookout for a Christmas gift for the diehard football fan in your life, or if you just want a fun and affordable way to expand your own shirt collection, check out Enigma Football. The link is in the description, and be sure to use code LAMSY at the checkout for 10% off your first order. Shout out to Enigma Football for sponsoring. Now let's get back to the video. So back up for the second half here at a very quiet Molineux. Silence in the stands at the moment. I mean, our fans have got absolutely nothing to sing about. But you would have thought the Wolves fans would be a little more jubilant coming out for the second half, where we are going to press the issue. Well, we are going to press the issue immediately. I forgot it won't let you change formations. So we are stuck in the 4-2-3-1 for the duration. We can, however, step up into our attacking, I don't know what they call them, tactical focus for this second period. Until we get an equaliser, at the very least. And I've just stepped up with everybody there. Chalobah takes Cunha down. It's going to be a Wolves free kick. No booking, however, as Rodrigo Gomez comes on for Chem Campbell. So Wolves with a free kick in a fairly dangerous area. And Chalobah brings it down for some reason. And gives it away. Koleosho looked as though he was going to make the interception initially. And we are at odds and ends, heads and tails, all over the place at the back. As Sarabia delivers the corner. Koleosho nods away. And Munoz beats Traore to the punch. And breaks away down the right-hand side. Finds Tammy Abraham. Just about. It's not the best pass. And Tammy Abraham finds Walton. Leif Davis on the left with Constantelius outside him. Who lifts it up towards Tammy Abraham. Headed clear by Wolves. Nodded down by Leif Davis though and blocked. Looked like it was going to open up for a moment there for Andreas Pereira. Didn't. Couple of Wolves defenders in the way. But I think we just have to play more direct in this second period. We've tried to build up through the lines. Wolves have just been too organised. I think we just need to try and catch them napping before they set up defensively. Because they've just been so organised. Adam Wharton. Andreas Pereira. Drops it into space for Koleosho on the right. Koleosho cuts inside once more. Munoz outside him with the overlapping run. Again, we're looking for Tammy Abraham. Again, Wolves deal with it. Lacroix wins the header this time. Munoz straight forward to Koleosho. Takes the outside route on this occasion. Tries at the very least, but there's 3 Wolves defenders in the area. And Dayashimi tracking Cunha back. And does win the ball in the end. Took a couple of bites at the cherry there, but... And Dayashimi continues to impress. If only we could have had him earlier. Pereira. Constantelius back to Leif Davis. Pereira once more. There's Dayashimi. That's a great challenge, to be fair. Shaping to find Koleosho on the right-hand side, but what a sliding challenge from the Wolves man. Harmlessly wide. And I think maybe we'll make a change or two here before we take the goal kick. Because Wolves still nursing that 1-goal lead. So, 2 changes for Oli Glasner. Roscoe Torres and Matheus Françar to come on. Leif Davis has been poor today. So Torres comes on at left back. Françar comes on for Andreas Pereira, who has also been pretty poor. So he'll be in that number 10 role. We have set him to roaming though, and we can see here that he's drifting out towards the left-hand side and dropping the ball into the path of Constantelius. Françar with a good run to open up space for Constantelius. Is that blocked by a Wolves man? No? Just wide. I can't be that bad at aiming, surely. Oh my god, I just am. Absolutely horrific shot. But very bright signs from Matheus Françar already, to be fair. Drifting out towards that left-hand side. Working nicely with Constantelius to open up a bit of space. Françar has impressed me when he's played. He hasn't played anywhere near as much as I would have liked in the series. He was a player that I was looking to get involved as a promising youngster already at Palace. We just haven't got him involved anywhere near as much as we would have liked. And Constantelius again in behind. Tammy Abraham picks up a good position and puts it just wide. Easily our best opportunity of the game. Beautifully worked move down the left-hand side. Couple of the substitutes combining there. Constantelius pulling it back across goal. And it really looked as though Tammy Abraham was going to draw things level there. And today's game has followed the same kind of pattern that recent games have. We've dominated possession. We've not been able to do anything really dangerous with it. Constantelius trying to find a bit of space to get a shot away. Manages to do so. Blocked by the Wolves defenders once more. And we are starting to inert some pressure over Wolves at this moment. Françar also blocked. And Daishimi can't win it back. But it is all Palace at the moment with 20 minutes left to play. As we search for an equalising goal to keep our season alive. If we lose this game, our season is over. Oliver Glasner is fired. There is no way back into Europe. Or back into Europe. There's no way into Europe next season. As Roscoe Torres forces his way into the box. Gets a shot away of his own. And it's over the bar. Again, I think not carried away by the keeper. As Jorge Resurrection comes on. Is that his name? It is a corner on this occasion. Constantelius to put it in. Tammy Abraham. I thought that was going to be a free header. Wolves defender comes out of nowhere to head it clear. Good interception by Munoz. Koleosho. Constantelius on the left. Wins the header. Nods it down for Roscoe Torres, who looks for Tammy Abraham. Again, headed clear. Wolves have just been so good defensively. They've just handled everything we've had to throw at them. They've been strong in their own box. They've been well organised, all over the pitch. They've been active and dynamic in the press and cutting the passing lanes to intercept our passes. Koleosho just trying to force his way past the Wolves left back. And nicks the ball away from the Wolves left back. And it is going to be another corner. Does manage to recover. I'm not so sure that he should be celebrated by his teammates quite so much though, because it was his poor mistake to give the ball away. Initially, Tammy Abraham does win the header on this occasion. And Holly Glasner, dressed for a funeral, dressed for his or her own funeral, potentially. Head in hands as we watch it go wide. Koleosho wins it. Munoz up ahead. The run is just so inverted. How narrow was Munoz there? And Daishimi finds Wharton. Drives forward. Finds Constantelius. Wharton once more. And there's just... Munoz was in a good position, to be fair. Just, again, Wolves just so well organised defensively. We just can't break him down. Good challenge, Roscoe Torres. Constantelius in space. Can Chalobah find him? He's put way too much on it. Far, far too much on it. So 3 more substitutions as we try desperately to grab an equalising goal here. Tammy Abraham will leave the field. Lucas Stassin to come on to replace him. William Davidson also on, as well as Wilf Zaha has come on for Koleosho. Well won by Ndaishimi. Out of play though. Constantelius has shifted over to the right hand side now. Wilf Zaha on the left. Wolves still eager to grab a second goal in this game though. Matheus Cunha tries to do exactly that, puts it wide. We have 8 minutes to find a goal. Perhaps a little bit more with added time. Constantelius. And we can't find Munoz, as the left back of Wolves had stepped up there. And Daishimi, another good challenge. Run, Davidson. Run, Wilf. Wilf Zaha. Just dispossessed far too easily. Far, far too easily. Good challenge, Davidson. Keeps it in play as well. Finds Fransar. And Daishimi. There are just no options. Just no options. Fransar was trying to support, but his run was too wide there. He made a good run earlier, drifting out towards the left-hand side. He was trying to do it again. We didn't need him to do it on that occasion. Daishimi was struggling, just trying to find a Crystal Palace shirt. And simply couldn't. And the final few minutes of the game ebb away here. And Wolves just keep possession. Can Roscoe Torres win it back and launch one final attack? Apparently not. Wolves corner. 4 minutes of added time. The season hangs in the balance. Oliver Glasner's job hangs in the balance. Oh, it's almost such a good challenge by Francois, but it is a good challenge by Davidson. Francois bursts away on the left-hand side. Lucas Stassin up in support. Francois beats his man. Into the Wolves box. Gets the shot away and equalises. Mateus Francois, what a run. A 90-yard run to equalise at the death. And we are still alive and kicking. Oli Glasner is not out of the door just yet. It looked for all the world as if he would be. But Mateus Francois said no. Daichi Kamada is out. Andreas Pereira has just been signed. But I should be the one in that number 10 role, and he's proven it there. We need to hold on and force the replay at Selhurst Park. A minute to do that. Zaha pressing on the left-hand side. Francois the same. Stassin too. And we've got him surrounded, and Stassin almost steals it away. And we have a draw. We'll be going back to Selhurst Park to have another crack at progressing to the next round. And we have really, really got away with one there. We have a replay, right? Why is it saying end of second half? Resume match. Why do we not have a replay? Why do we not have a replay? It's going to be extra time. I could have sworn we should have a replay. We're only around 4. Okay, replays just aren't a thing anymore, apparently. From the 2024 season, replays have been scrapped. This is not something I was aware of. Haven't paid too much attention to the FA Cup this season. Oh, come on. Francois trying to find Constantelius on the right. It's blocked by Ndaishimi. And looked to be a perfect pass as well. And Constantelius was in a lot of space. Referee waves play on. Controversial decision, but I think the right one. And Constantelius finds Lucas Stassin into the Wolves box. Stolen away at the last minute. So we are going to have to try and progress here today. Thought we were going to get another 90 minutes to do so. We only get another 30. We are going to drop back just into the default game plan. We don't normally throwing players forward too haphazardly anymore now that we have grabbed the equaliser. What an equaliser it was, by the way. Maybe that needs to go on. Goal of the season. Great save again, Dean Henderson. I think that needs to be a goal of the season contender. Maybe not quite so much for the finish, but certainly for the run, and certainly for the just the gravity of the situation. Roscoe Torres. Wilf Zaha. The keeper's going to get there first. Decent enough effort from Roscoe Torres to find Zaha there. We needed it a little wider, the pass. It led him a little too narrow. A little too much towards the centre of the pitch. Zaha burst forward now. We can't just cross the ball into the box anymore and expect Tammy Abraham to win something. But there's Francois with a shot from range but wide. We're going to have to look to play Lucas Stassin in behind with through balls rather than try and find him with crosses. Completely different skill set to Tammy Abraham, but what a ball that is! And Stassin pokes it towards goal and is saved by Bernd Leno. Oh, what an opportunity. Constantelius can't find Munoz. What an opportunity. It was a bit of a heavy touch from Stassin. just allowed Bernd Leno to come out and narrow the angle. And by the time Stassen was ready to shoot, Leno was on top of him. We've certainly had the best of the game since the first half, though. Wolves definitely deserved their 1-goal lead at the break. But we definitely had the better of the second half. And I think we've looked better in extra time up to this point as well. Oh, side netting. Dean Henderson almost cracks his skull open on the post. Oh, God. Where are you going, Torres? Why are you running towards the corner flag? Absolutely mindless. Diashimi. Bit of space to run into. The same goes for Constantelius. And it's another good pass from Diashimi. And Constantelius beats his man. Gets his shot away. Narrowly wide. Definitely finding more success going direct, though. I think Wolves have had the better of the game when it slowed down. But yeah, I think we just need to continue to try and catch them napping. Just continue to try and get in behind before they've been allowed to set up defensively. Unsuccessful on that occasion. Oh my God, how did we not steal that away? Half time here and extra time at Molineux. We'll have another 15 minutes to try and grab the winner. If not, it'll be penalties once again. Our record on penalties isn't too bad, to be fair. So, I've kind of been growing in confidence in terms of penalties. I'm not usually very confident at all. But we've won our last couple of shootouts. At least in... when we've been playing, anyway. From what I remember. So, potentially reason to fancy our chances if indeed we do end up going to penalties. Of course, if we can grab a winner before then, fantastic. But Tammy Abraham has, of course, left the pitch. Daichi Kamada, of course, not in the team today. And those would be two of our better penalty takers. So we'd be relying on the likes of Lucas Stassen. Surely he's a good penalty taker. It's a poor ball from Davidson. Surely he's a good penalty taker with his 82 finishing. Good save, Dean Henderson. Opened up for Cunha there. He's been the danger man for Wolves clearly today. Corner does go straight into the box. Wilf Sahar heads clear. Will Wilf Sahar have decent penalty taking? I think surely he must do. Roscoe Torres beat it to the ball at the near post, and we will continue to try and catch Wolves napping. Finding Constantelius early. Christensen, the left back, drops in. Wilf Sahar with Roscoe Torres outside him. And Fransar on the edge of the box, who takes one touch to get it out of his feet. And blocked by the Wolves defender. We certainly look better when we're playing direct. Diashimi can't win it back on this occasion. Too much pace and strength from Bueno. Down the left-hand side for Wolves, who puts it into the box. Dean Henderson makes the save. Not too many options to find with a quick counter-attack on this occasion, so we'll slow it down a little bit before we find Zaha. He drops it into the path of Stassen. That's almost a pinpoint ball. Almost. Bernd Leno again, just quick enough to get there first. But if Wilf Sahar just took a touch off that, that would have been the perfect pass, and Lucas Stassen would have been in behind. And we'll press Bueno out here on the Wolves left. Do the same with Christensen and Timber. An interesting signing for Wolves. Wolves would be an interesting career mode save, to be fair, now that Gary O'Neill has been relieved of his duties. Be interesting to see who they replace him with. Our next series will be in the Bundesliga, as voted on by you. Massive 54% of 760-ish votes, I think. The last I checked. So, no! It's a great goal, to be fair. Really smart movement from Cunha. Just peels off the back of Chalobah. Perfectly found by the Wolves winger. And it looks as though we're going to be embarking on that Bundesliga save sooner rather than later. Because with a minute left to play, Wolves once more have the lead. Thought we were going to penalties. And Diashimi. Lucas Stassin. We're going to penalties. Let's go. 121 minutes into the game. We equalise for the second time. Oliver Glasner has risen from the dead once more. Dressed for her funeral. But we'll have to take the suit off and put it on another day. Well, we've still got penalties to win yet. Absolutely mental game. Absolutely insane. Lucas Stassin with the equaliser on this occasion. Bernd Leno can't make the save. And it's Diashimi with the assist. He's been influential. Defensively and going forward, to be fair. We brought him in purely as a defensive player. Didn't really expect him to offer anything going forward. But he's picked up the ball and he's driven forward multiple occasions today. He's picked out some good passes as well. And he's done so there for the Lucas Stassin equaliser. And we will be going to penalties after all. So it's penalties once again. Matheus Cunha up first for Wolves. And he absolutely buries it. Lucas Stassin scored the equalising goal at the death. And it's his responsibility to get us off to a good start in the penalty shootout. And it's in off the post. Mario Lemina for Wolves. And it's 2-1. All three penalties going the same way so far. As Wilf Zaha, the former Eagle, the former legend of Selhurst Park, buries his penalty. Top corner. Legend once more. Okay, for Wolves. All three penalties in that bottom corner. And it's Constantelius to level things up again. Looks like a decent penalty. Keeper goes the wrong way and it's 3-all. All right, you know where we're going with Gomez this time. And again, he goes left. And Henderson makes the save. Matheus França scored the first equalising goal for us. Has a chance to put us ahead in the penalty shootout for the first time and against the run of play. Oh, it's a perfect penalty. It's a perfect penalty. It's 4-3. Henderson could become the hero here. It's Bueno to step up and take it. And Henderson makes the save and we will progress. How? I do not know. But we will progress to the next round of the FA Cup. You've got to hand it to this team. They do not give up. I mean, I wish we played for the full 90 like we did in the final minute of the game. I wish we played for the full 120 like we did in the final minute of the match and the extra time. But somehow we've grabbed an equalising goal in the final moments of each of those periods of play. 90 and 120. And we've somehow managed to get through on penalties. Two big saves from Dean Henderson. And our season is just about alive. And the fifth round has already been drawn and it's going to be QPR. Now we have basically nothing left to play for in the Premier League. So to a slight change of plans, we're going to quick sim all of these Premier League games. And I'll show you highlights of our next round of the FA Cup against QPR. So after his stunning performance off the bench against Wolves, Matheus França does get a start here against Sheffield United, as does Milan van Ewijk, as does Wilf Zaha. And it's just a point. Campbell equalises for Sheffield United after França scores again. This time early in the game rather than late. Tammy Abraham misses a penalty. And it'll be Lucas Stassin and Ismaila Sarr's chance to start as we take on West Ham, where we do come away with all 3 points. Lucas Stassin getting on the score sheet in the second half. Trevor Chalobah scoring a rare goal to win it late on. And I'm actually pretty glad that QPR game popped up at the end of this month, because that means I no longer have to play Arsenal. We are going to rotate the 11 slightly for this one, just to make sure we are absolutely fresh for the QPR game, likely to lose anyway, and we do. Diogo Jota, Bukayo Saka, and Rafael Leao. What a front three. They all get on the score sheet. Andreas Pereira, though, unwilling to relinquish his position to Matheus França just yet, grabs a goal. So we are going to go back to the 4-3-3 holding for our final game of the episode against QPR, and Diashimi on that centre-half role. He's going to drop between Chalobah and Koulibaly today. Munoz is going to support the midfield, whilst Pereira gets a little bit further forward as a playmaker. On the left-hand side, Constantelius will be cutting in onto his right foot, Leif Davis overlapping. This should, in theory, work very, very well. And to be fair, it did work very well. We forced the QPR keeper into a big save 5 minutes into the game. And from there, we did not let up. We continued to put them under pressure. We didn't just outplay them, we absolutely dominated them. We could have been 2 or 3-0 up within half an hour. But QPR held firm, and they did manage to keep the score level those 30 minutes in. But the game wouldn't be level for too much longer after another big save. Tammy Abraham found Luca Koleosho, who fired into the far corner to make it 1-0 Palace. And just before the stroke of half-time, Tammy Abraham took a nice touch, showed his pace and his strength to skip past the last QPR defender, and he made it 2-0. And it was the exact same story in the second half. We were all over QPR, and although we couldn't find a third goal in the game, it was a comfortable 2-0 victory in the end. So promising signs for the 4-3-3 formation. It was only QPR, so we probably do have to take the performance and the result with a pinch of salt. However, it did feel a lot better, a lot more comfortable, a lot more creative and dynamic than the 4-2-3-1 that we started out the episode with. The one downside from the game was that Daniel Munoz suffered a dislocated shoulder, and he'll be out for the next 2 months, so probably the remainder of the season. We may have Munoz back for the final month of the season, but we'll certainly be without him for April and March, where we'll be taking on Fulham, Ipswich and Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. So an easy run of Premier League fixtures, and we have Norwich in the FA Cup quarter-final. By far the easiest draw that we could have had. This is very reminiscent of Season 2, when we had a series of pretty easy draws in the cup to get us through to the final. But remember, we do have to not only make the final once more, but win it this time. Only winning the FA Cup will secure Europe for us next season, and only securing Europe will secure another season in post. So even if we do beat Norwich, there's going to be a Manchester City, an Arsenal, a Chelsea waiting for us in the next round and beyond. But we will try and beat Norwich in the next episode. I hope to see you there. Take it easy.